Hey everyone, my name is Saf. You are watching Reon Tech TV, and today we will be continuing on UI UX series. If you have not done yet so do hit that subscribe button and like the video if you have enjoyed my previous lectures. Today we'll be continuing my on the patterns. The patterns that we have discussed earlier were milestone, bar, stamp, and vertical. So I'm planning to start with navigation because it is somewhere relating to milestone. It will be helpful for us to understand. So let's go through this theory of navigation and what is the meaning of navigation, how to work it out, and then we'll go on the practical part. Let's clear the previous code, then we'll be able to understand. Or let me just create a new interface, that would be better. So we'll drop a navigation. So that's a basic navigation. We'll click on this, and as you can see, if you missed, I'll repeat once again. Start fresh, patterns, and then we have to go with navigation. We click and drag and drop. You'll see this is the navigation for you. So this pattern is utilized mostly for home pages where you are having a tabular division of tabs which are stacked in the screen in such a way that they look like a set of options where you can select a particular tab and go into that child interface. So if you click on workspace, the workspace will be open. You click on tasks, task page will be open. You click on request accordingly. So you can use this model pattern to do your own code if there is a scenario where you have to design a specific screen like this. There is nothing fancy in navigation. You just have to set up your own data here and you have to connect your right interface for each index. That is it. We'll go through the documentation once. I think the documentation is not loading properly. What's the problem? Yep, now it came. So there are different type of patterns. So first is like plain navigation that we are seeing today, and then there is navigation collapsible and stuff. We'll see the rest of the part later on. First, let's see how a basic navigation works. Once you understand the functionality, then you will be able to adopt the rest of the navigations as well. So let's break down the approach in a simple part. We are having a local bank nav sections. This is our understanding. Okay, this is a local bank active nav section, which is defining kind of a key of which navigation section is active. Second variable tells us that there is a list of maps, which is holding the values of icon and the name of the tabs that you want to, populate. So this is local bank nav sections. This is active nav section, and then we are having a columns layout. So let's understand the code in a modularized way. We are having a columns layout. Inside the columns layout, we are having basically two columns. So if you see the left hand side is the first column, if you see the right hand side, it is the second column. As far as I can believe that the left hand side is having a specific width and the right hand side is auto distribute. Let's see what's there. Okay, so first you can see there are two columns. In the columns layout there are two columns. The first column is divided. Uh, the whole layout is divided between two columns, and the first one is having narrow width, and the second one is not having width. That means it is automatically distributing the balance width. Okay, so just for your reference, if I do extra narrow, the effect will take care of, depending upon how you are designing it. So here you can see this is narrow. Now we understood this is the left part of the screen and this is the right part of the screen. Now let's move inside the left part of the screen and understand how the icons are iterating along with the, tab headings. So here we are using a bank for each. Inside the A bank for each, we are using local bank nav section. So nav section is nothing but a local variable which is holding a list of maps. If you see on the right hand side, we are holding a list of maps. The map is having its keys and their values for different headings as well as icons. So we are iterating through nav sections. For every item of nav section, we are having a card layout, and then we are having side by side layout inside the card layout. Inside that, we are having basically, how can I relate this to you? First, we are having a card layout. So if you see on the top, inside the for each, we are having a card layout, and the card layout is for single item, right? Inside the card layout, we are having a side by side layout because we want the icon to be beside the tab heading. So if you want to keep the components beside each other, we have the favorite layout called side by side layout. Side by side layout is used to keep them one beside each other. If you don't use side by side layout, what will happen? It will come one below each other, right? That should not be the case. That is why we have used side by side layout. So if you collapse this, you will see that there are two items in the side by side layout wrapped on the top of card layout. Because we are having a card layout, you can see we are having accessibility text here. That is one which is selected. And for the card layout only, we are having a style that if current index is equals to active nav section, then it will be accent, else it will be none. So the card color will be depending upon whether it is selected or not. So if we click on the second item, then the second item the second index will be, because we clicked on the second index, then the styling will be applied on the second item and so on. Also, we are having a link on the card layout. The link says A bank dynamic link, value FV bank index, and save into local bank active nav section. Now this is the main logic of how the card values and the colors are actually being rendered on the basis of user input. So if you see A bank dynamic link, FV bank index. So for the list of nav icons, what we have, FV bank index. So we have FV bank index 1, FV bank index 2, FV bank index 3, FV bank. So means for every iteration of loop, the FV bank indexes which which number of time the loop ran out of the list. So for first item, we are having FV bank index 1. For second item, we are having FV bank index 2. For third item, we are having FV bank index 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. Till how many items you have in the list. We are having A bank dynamic link. So we are having card layout, which is having a property called link. Inside the link, we are having A bank dynamic link. That means if the user will click on any item of the loop, the dynamic link will grab the FV bank index and it will update the local bank FV active section. So what it means that any item of the loop, if the user clicks third item or fourth item, so the index of the item will be copied or it will be updating to the local bank active nav section. If I click on sixth item, the active nav section becomes 6. If I click on third item or second item, the active nav sections become 3 or 2 accordingly. So this is the main logic where the active nav section is updating its value depending upon the user input. I hope you understood. Coming back to the inside part. So here you can see side by side item first, and here you can see another side by side item. The first item is nothing but populating the icon. The second item is nothing but populating the heading. It is very simple code, nothing major to get confused of. So here you can see in the first item we are having icon. We are also having the icon color difference, right? So if it is equal, then the icon color is this, else it is secondary. Similarly, the second side by side item we are having, the name, and if it is selected, the name will become strong, else it will become plain. So I hope you understood the entire part of the code. Like on this section, for every item you are clicking, it is grabbing the index and it is updating in active nav section. Great. So this is the left side of the screen. I'll close this so for it is easy for you to understand now. Now, even in the comments, it is mentioned that this card is used to set a minimum height on the column so that the divider takes up more screen space when there is a minimal content. Once the content is added to the main column, this can be removed. Here you can see there's a card layout which is having height tall. We are talking about this one. So this is a card layout which is having height tall, and it is just used as a dummy layout so that there should be a set static value in terms of the content that you want to populate. And even it is mentioned that if you're having more number of items in the list, then you can remove this card layout so that the screen height and the content height remains consistent for the user experience. So it is just like a dummy placeholder acting for us, dummy layout. So if you want, you can remove this. Let's see what will happen if we remove this. If we remove this, the whole screen will become small. That is why it is just to make sure that the whole screen looks like a proper screen, right? Like a home page. And depending upon your list items, you can make the dummy item height, dummy card layout height accordingly. Now this column layout is done and dusted. The left side we are understood how the navigation works. Now coming to the right hand side. The right hand side we can see that we are having a choose function. Even in the comments it is mentioned that conditionally display the selected navigation section. Sections are created individually. Here they will be having the varying contents. Okay. This is a basic length. This is a basic comment where like depending upon the correct value of the key, you will be able to choose the right interface. So here you can see that there is a choose function. Inside the choose function, we are having different section layout calls. So here you can see we are having list items as 6 items. Similarly, we are having how many items? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So for every item in the local bank nav section, we are having a actual interface that we have to call inside the right hand side, right? So what do we have for the first item? So choose function will choose the list of items on the basis of the key. So if the key value is 6 right now, so the sixth item will be picked up. If the key value is 2, the second item will be picked up. So it will be picked up means it will be rendered in the right hand side. So here you can see we are having section layout. So instead of this, what we will do? We'll do gray on tech first page. Gray on tech first page. For second item, what we'll do? Don't forget to subscribe. For third item, what we'll do? We are trying to just create our own custom headings so that you understand for which page we are actually using the choose function. Happy learning and so on. Let's save this and let's test this. So this is the gray on tech first page because the initial value of key is 1, right? So when you click on next, you're having task. Like when you click on next, tab, navigation tab, don't forget to subscribe. I know you will subscribe. Third, happy learning, and fourth and fifth and so on. So this is the whole crux of how the navigation works. Instead of section layouts, what you can do, you can pass your child interface by rule bang child interface name. Instead of this, what I can do, I can copy this. This does not make sense, but I'm showing you how it works. We missed a comma. Now you can see that the second home screen that we developed earlier is used as a first navigation tab here. So this will work individually, right? and this will work individually on their code. So I hope you really enjoyed the learning. If you really like my explanation, don't forget to subscribe, drop a comment, like the video, and I'll see you in the next lecture. Thank you.